Most people read the headlines. I read the small print. This is Footnotes, where I find the biggest stories in the smallest detail. In a world that seems to be moving faster and faster, we often find ourselves building walls to keep the confusion out. We take those among us whose memories have grown fragile, and we tuck them away in sterile hallways that smell of antiseptic and lost time. But if you were to travel to a small town called Weesp, just outside of Amsterdam, you would find a neighborhood that looks just like any other. There is a bustling town square, there's a cozy theater, there's a grocery store where a clerk greets you by name, and a cafe where the coffee is always hot and the conversation is always easy. At first glance, it is the picture of Dutch normalcy. You see neighbors out for a stroll, admiring the tulips, or perhaps stopping by the post office. But look a little closer at the clerk behind the counter, or the gardener tending the hedges. You see, they aren't just employees. They are doctors and nurses. This is Hoogeweg, and in this village, every single resident is living with severe dementia. In most places, we tell the confused, no, you can't go out. No, you can't buy that. No, you aren't home. But at Hoogeweg, the answer is yes. If a resident wants to go to the store to buy ingredients for dinner, they go. The money may be a formality, and the clerk may be a trained caregiver, but the dignity, that is as real as the cobblestone under their feet. They live in houses styled to match the era they remember best, whether it's the upscale decor of the 1970s or a traditional tradesman's cottage. They aren't patients in Ward 8. They are neighbors in a community. Traditional medicine says we must medicate the agitation of the fading mind. But the folks at Hoogeweg found a different prescription. They found that when you remove the locked doors and the white coats, when you provide a world that feels familiar, the fear begins to melt away. The residents are more active. They eat better. They live longer because they aren't waiting for the end. They are simply living. It turns out the best medicine wasn't in a bottle at all. It was a trip to the grocery store and a seat on a park bench. I'm Brenda, and you've been listening to Footnotes.